From R.D. Smothers Wealth Management, this is The Retirement.
When you retire, if you want an exciting life, you need a boring investment strategy.
Matters.
If you enter into retirement without a plan for income, you're not retired, you're simply unemployed.
Podcast.
Hey, this is your host, Dale Smothers, and you're listening to the Retirement Matters Podcast. My hope is that you will find the information you need in every single show on how to do one of the three things: either saving more money more efficiently, planning better for your future where you can live in retirement worry-free, or my favorite, how you can live a happy and fulfilled life in this life you have been given. We know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending it listening to this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. On this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast, we go into the first episode of the Retirement Matters radio show that was airing, this first time it aired would have been January the 3rd, 2026. It was the first radio show of the year, which is why you hear me refer to a lot of firsts in 2026. Now, you've probably heard a couple of episodes, especially if you listen to this show regularly. You've heard a couple already in 2026 because of the way we release our podcast that were once radio shows. But what is in this particular podcast is going to be a true statement, probably for the remainder of the year, and that is that if you do not have confidence in your plan, 2026 is the year to do this. There is a lot of optimism in the market right now, a lot of opportunities, but with that, there's a lot of uncertainty. And what you have to be prepared for as a retiree or a pre-retiree, if you're over the age of 59 and a half, is to be able to weather this uncertainty, no matter how long it takes, and to have a portfolio structured to either be prepared for opportunities when uncertainty rises, or be prepared to continue to send you income without fear of running out of money. Depending on where you are in your journey, your portfolio needs to be structured in that way. And we can help you do that. Confidence comes from a strong plan. And until you have the strong plan, it's going to be challenging for you to have the confidence you need to live happy in retirement. This podcast goes into a little bit of that in detail, and we open up with a pretty powerful pause for positivity. Be sure you tune in to the very end when we talk about the confidence in retirement, why it matters, and how you don't have to risk the farm to be able to see the types of returns that you desire. So without any further hesitation, let's get into this week's episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast, and I hope that you find it both informational and enjoyable to listen to. And if you do, be sure you like, subscribe, or rate the show, maybe even sharing it with a friend if you think that they would find value in the information inside. All right, let's get to the show. Enjoy this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well and you are ready to start discussing all things retirement matters this morning. We are coming to you with a show that is going to be full of information. Our first show here in 2026. Got a lot of things to throw at you, a lot of sections and some things that you can take back to your immediate portfolio right now, exactly where it is, and probably make some adjustments going into the new year, things that you need to be looking out for. We're going to have a big picture reset here right after our pause for positivity. And then we're going to go into why losses hurt you more than gains help you, how that our risk on, risk off portfolio and the approach that we take to retirement investing, especially over the age of 59 and a half, is intended to be targeting the income phase, growing your money when the market is good, and protecting your money when the market is bad. This is the way that we invest for those who are in the latter stages of growth phase, entering into income phase, or perhaps you've already entered into income phase. And it's even more important that you do not take significant risk with your money in those first 10 years of retirement. We're going to discuss why that's necessary for you to understand and how you gain confidence going into retirement. My goodness, we've got a lot to get to. I'm super excited about today's show. Again, the first one of 2025. I was going hunting for some positive stories, and I found several Did I just say the first one in 2025? No, it's the first one in 2026. The first show in 2026. The last show of 2025, we closed out with several stories of positive impact. People that were impacting other people's lives all around this country. I wanted to share with you, I think we did 3, maybe 4 positive focuses, essentially, in the last show. This was intentional. It was meant to give you encouragement to go out and change the world. Have this red car theory in front of you that if you're looking for those opportunities, they will present themselves. And I was looking for more stories as we started this 2026 season. And I ran across one very simple, quick story that I want to share with you that really does set the tone for 2026. And if you're going into this world to impact people's lives, you have to be very certain that you are not approaching them with a prejudice or a prejustice or a prejudgment. Let's just say it like that. You have to go into it knowing that you probably don't know everything about them. And if you go into it thinking you do, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually impact them the way that you were designed to. So let's go into this story. This story is a 24-year-old boy was sitting on the train with his parents. His father and his mother were sitting there as he looked out the window. And he said, "Dad," very loudly on the train, "Dad, look, the trees are going past us and they're going behind the train." The dad smiles at the young man. The couple sitting nearby looked over and noticed that this 24-year-old boy had awful childish behavior. You could see his face begin to snarl almost at this man sitting there talking so loudly. And then out of nowhere, the boy again said, "Dad, look, the clouds are running with us." Well, at this point, the grumpy old man sitting beside them just couldn't keep his peace any longer, and he lashed out at the father and mother and said, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor? Clearly, something is wrong with your boy." And the mother and father looked over with very peaceful understanding. The father smiled and said, "Sir, we have taken him to several good doctors. As a matter of fact, we are just coming back from the hospital, and my son, for the first time, can actually see. He was born blind and received his eyesight today." Now, I don't have to add much to this to make you get the moral of the story, but I will remind you again that we do not understand exactly what every individual is going through, and that while their reaction or their actions may seem irrational to us, there is no true rational behavior. It's just rationalized from a perspective, from a standpoint, from a mindset, maybe from a theory on life. People act. And when someone is going through something, rather than react to their actions, perhaps lend an ear for understanding, and from that, a lot of good can come. This is huge, and I'm going to be real frank with you. This is something that I need to work on myself. So together, me, you, will challenge one another to be better at this and to go out together to impact the world around us. And day by day, I am confident we will make this world a better place to live and, in our opinion, live happy all throughout our life together. And just like that, the first pause for positivity in 2026 is behind us, and we're moving forward with some retirement matters that you don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more of the show right after this.
You're listening to the Retirement Matters Show with Dale Smothers. Dale is the founder and president of R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. We specialize in building retirement plans that allow you to walk away from the worry of running out of money. If you'd like to chat with a member of our team, you can do so absolutely free by calling 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. Visit us online at rdswealth.com and be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show, the first show of 2026. And with that, let's discuss what we see as a big picture for 2026. The last decade has been very, very rewarding for those who have been aggressive in the stock market. We've had only a few bumps in the road, if you will. 2020 was one that immediately recovered. 2022, an immediate recovery. 2018 got a little bit hairy for a few days, but again, an immediate recovery. And honestly, even what we saw in 2025 may have scared some investors, but it had an immediate recovery. So if I take us all the way back to 2016, and I'm talking to you now at 10 years younger as an investor, getting ready to start the year 2016, and I told you that we were going to average around 15% rate of return over the next 10 years of time if you will just be aggressive. Would you be happy with that? Yes or no? And most people would say yes. But the way we got here, we had a lot of volatility. There have been a lot of things that have taken place in the world, a lot of things that have taken place in America since 2016. I'll just go through the rates of return of the stock market. 2016, 9.54% in the S&P 500, 19.7% in 2017, down 6.25% in 2018, up 28% in 19, up 16.25% in 2020. It was up 26, almost 27% in 2021. And when we look at 2022, down 19.45% in 2022. That was a bad year. Most people recall that in their portfolio. 2023, up 24.3%. In 2024, we were up 23.31%. And last year, 2025, we finished out with a 16.39% S&P 500. This is a positive trend that we're seeing. But I want to draw your attention from 2016 till now on the 2 negative years that took place and 2 years which actually gave us positive returns in the S&P 500, but would have likely derailed a lot of retirement plans if they were built without some sort of protection. This was 2019 and 2020. This doesn't have to do as much with the math during COVID as it does the emotion. And when you are in retirement income phase or approaching retirement income phase, emotions are just as important as the mathematical equations of returns. The emotions matter because if it's not possible for you to stay emotionally invested, it's going to be challenging for you to stay physically invested. And without being physically invested, you can't actually experience the returns that we saw. Again, 2019, up 28.8%. And 2020, up 16.2%. But those are the years of COVID. COVID-19 came out in 2020. We saw it early in 2020. The market took an absolute nosedive. And during those months where the market was down, if you were pulling money out of the market for income and you weren't pulling it from secured places, you were selling stocks at lows that you never got to experience the rebound on. Or what's even worse is many people that we have talked to who pulled money during the lows of COVID, thinking the world was coming to an end, and they never got to experience the rebound, which took place almost 2 times as quickly as the pullback. Now, I know that's funny to hear now. We're in 2026. COVID didn't end the world. It certainly changed the world. There's no denying that. But when you were in the moment, perhaps you remember what it felt like seeing your account be cut by 20, 25, 30, 35, maybe even 40%, depending on what you were invested in. This was a scary time for investors if you didn't have a plan. And you see, the next 10 years, I can't sit here and tell you that the next 10 years are going to be up 15% in the S&P 500. What I can tell you is that there will be volatility. What I can tell you is that the stock market will give and it will take away. And when you need income or just money in general, for whatever reason it may be that you're saving money in this stock market, when you need that money, you need to make sure that it is there for you to call on. And in a year like 2022, where the rebound did not come nearly as fast as it did in 2020, if you are pulling income in a down year, the math is working against you in overtime. So why is it important for you in 2026 to revisit this and maybe take it from a bigger picture approach? Well, in our opinion, the world has changed substantially in the last 10 years, and it will change again in the next 10. And if your plan and your portfolio is not ready to weather those changes, you will feel like you're doing this all alone. R.D. Smothers Wealth Management exists so that you do not have to do this alone. Here's what we believe. We believe as you approach income phase, you should be income first, growth second, and protection always in your investment portfolio. And if your portfolio still looks the same as it did last year or 2 years ago, or God forbid, 10 years ago, it's time for us to talk. It's time to reassess the way that you are invested and making sure that you are in a position to embrace all the optimism that is sure to come over the next 2 to 3, maybe even 10 years into the future. But to make sure that you're also ready to weather the storms that are sure to come with them. R.D. Smothers Wealth Management can help you do that. And our team at RDS Wealth is built specifically to help you walk this retirement journey and not feel like you're doing it alone. We build the plan. We assist you in investing your money to facilitate and fulfill the plan. And then together, we commit to walking the journey. If you need a partner in this retirement journey, give our team a call, 270-600-PLAN, or navigate to our website, rdswealth.com, and there you will find a place to schedule a time to talk to one of our team members. We can help you in building a retirement portfolio that will accomplish your objectives in life and give you the confidence to walk into retirement without fearing or worrying that you're going to run out of money throughout the journey. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to discuss why losses hurt you more than gains help you and how our risk-on, risk-off portfolio assists you in making sure that you participate in the gains of the market while also protecting against significant losses when the market has a bad day. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more Retirement Matters right after this.
It's 4th and 1 with 2 seconds left in the game. Less than 1 yard separates you from victory. You have the best running back in the league, but your coach calls a Hail Mary.
As silly as that sounds, we see a lot of retirement managers being far too aggressive with your investments when a more conservative play would be a better fit. You have questions, we have answers.
Contact R.D. Smothers Wealth Management, 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-7526.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you listen to the first section, well, I guess the second section, it was the previous section, you heard us go through the last 10 years' returns in the S&P 500. And as a retiree or someone who's approaching retirement, let's say over the age of 59 and a half, you are getting focused on creating what we call the income phase portfolio, and this plan for income phase, which needs to have way more than just investments addressed. You've got to be able to address when to take Social Security, what Medicare choices to take, what kind of tax strategy should you employ as you get through retirement, what kind of income strategy, what sources of income should you turn on first, when should you turn some off, how should you elect your pensions. All of these things need to be discussed. What about long-term care and making sure that the farm is not taken in the event that you enter into some sort of assisted living facility, making sure that your house, your car, your money, all the things that you have are still able to pass on to loved ones. We can assist you in making that happen. And then, of course, the legacy that you have. How do you want this money to be spent when you are dead and gone? Who do you want this money to go to? What organizations? Is there a way to do that more efficiently, more tax favorably to you and your family? All of this is what it takes to build a true plan. And all of this is what we do at RDS Wealth. We work together with you to lay out all of these plans. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. I'm confident if you've never worked with our firm, it's different because we are different. We specialize in the retirement income phase. Over the age of 59 and a half, it's important for you to get serious about these things because they are important. And this is why we have created the risk on, risk off portfolio, because this portfolio holds one very important rule as an absolute truth, and that is that losses hurt you more than gains help you in the stock market. A 20% loss in the stock market requires someone in growth phase a 25% gain to get back. But when you're in income phase and you're needing, let's say, 5% of your money for income, a 20% loss could mean that you need as much as 40% to get back to even. Well, how's that possible? Here's how. If you're taking 20% losses in the market and you need your 5% for income this year, well, you're down 25%. In order to get back from a 25% loss, you need a 33% gain. But not for you, because now down 20 and now 25 for income, you need 33 to get back to even, but you need an additional 5% for your income, which makes it a 38% gain necessary to get back to where you were just 12 months ago. That is a hard hill to climb, and it's one that will probably not happen emotionally for you. You see, here's the thing. It's not as much about the math behind investing as it is the emotion and the psychology behind investing. If you're able to ride out the stock market, of course, it almost always comes back. But what if you're not emotionally or actually physically able to ride it out because you need it for income? Well, now you're selling at losses. And when you see your account down almost 30% while the market is down 20%, it's going to be difficult for you to stay invested. God forbid that we have another 2008 type scenario where your market's down 40%. What does that leave your portfolio looking like? If you don't know, we can help you understand that a little bit better. 270-600-PLAN will get you in touch with our team. Ask them for this specifically. Say, Dale told me to ask for a portfolio stress test. This portfolio stress test will provide it free of charge for you, and we will run a stress test on your portfolio, which we do behind the scenes for all of our clients anyway. But for you, specifically, listening to the show, we can show you how a portfolio is going to perform in another 2008, another 2020, or maybe another 2022 type scenario. These things are at our disposal. They are tools, very similar to saying you can change your own oil. Well, clearly, you can invest your own money. But when you take it into a mechanics shop, they're going to have different types of tools that make things more efficient and they can solve bigger problems. When you are about to enter into retirement, you have more than just an investment solution that is needed. You have a planning solution that is needed. And most of the time we find that people have a hard time doing this on their own. And if they can do it on their own, it's not about not being able to do it as much as it is, do you want to do it? Do you want to spend countless hours over spreadsheets and investing money on a daily basis? And I know what it takes to do this correctly. And it's a full-time job. Trust me. It's a high level of stress to make sure that portfolios are traded the way they need to be on time, generating the income they have to generate on time, protecting against market downturns on time, making decisions for Social Security, Medicare, pensions, all of these things on time. That becomes a challenge. And you spend so much of your time on the things that require you to be on time that you don't have the time to spend with the loved ones that you care about. That's why we exist. And we know that if losses hurt you more than gains help you, one of the first things we want to employ is our risk-on, risk-off approach to your investment philosophy. And by doing this, we assist you in building a portfolio that is designed to benefit when the market is good. We make money when the market is good on both the risk-on and the risk-off sides of our portfolio. Think of it like a seesaw, and we have found the perfect balance that when the market is good, both sides rise. But when the market is bad, one side will stay still and not lose the money we've made throughout the years, while the other side has as little volatility or loss as you are comfortable with. We walk through this with you, and we can structure it in a way to where when the market does well, you do well, and when the market does poorly, you do not do nearly as poorly. We couple this with your income plan, knowing that it can generate the income you desire or require in your retirement income phase, and knowing that you can emotionally stay invested to benefit from years to come when the sun finally reemerges. Now, if you need that help in your portfolio, give our team a call. 270-600-PLAN. We want to help you build the retirement you've always imagined. And together, we will walk the journey if we feel that we are going to bring value along the way. 270-600-PLAN or rdswealth.com. Find a time that's available on our calendar, and we'll reach out to you at a time that's convenient to have our first conversation. No charge for that first consultation. No charge for the first conversation. It's simply a way to allow us to point you in the right direction and then decide if it makes sense for us to work together or not. And what you're going to find is, in full transparency, that the way we structure our fees is that we do better when you do better. When you do poorly, we do not do well. This aligns our interest. This makes us on the same team. 270-600-PLAN. Ask to talk to a team member. And again, remember, ask specifically for the portfolio stress test, and we'll be sure to get you one at no charge. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's jump straight to retirement being all about confidence and why you don't have to bet the farm to actually see returns in your retirement years. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more Retirement Matters right after this.
Thank you for listening to Retirement Matters, presented by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. If you'd like to speak with us, give us a call at 270-600-PLAN. And if you enjoy the information in this show and would like to hear more, you can access previous shows by searching for the Retirement Matters podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. We also produce a weekly newsletter. Receive it free to your email inbox by signing up online at rdswealth.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've got just a few minutes, and I want to discuss with you why it's important for you to not put too much risk into your portfolio, whether our team is helping you or you're doing this on your own, which, again, I would strongly advise that, for the amount of time it takes and the potential for you to make mistakes, I would strongly urge you to find an advisor that you can trust, that is well-equipped for this retirement income phase, and work with them. If you need our assistance, give our team a call, 270-600-PLAN. But if you're doing this alone, what you need to realize very quickly is that you should be income first, growth second, protection always. We said this earlier in the show. Retirees still need growth, but participation does not require you to be overexposed to the stock market. When income is protected and growth is isolated, volatility becomes manageable, and your confidence rises. And put a different way, when you have your money put in the right places, the market's up or down, you can still maintain confidence, knowing what you own, why you own it, and how it's going to behave in the coming months or years. Now, we employ the risk-on, risk-off portfolio, which I've discussed. And this gives you that amount of confidence to walk into retirement. I was blessed to talk to several of our clients right as the year was wrapping up, and they were thanking us for our team's help in maintaining and gaining a level of confidence that they have not had in their retirement ever before. And that confidence doesn't come because RDS Wealth has some sort of magic potion, or Dale's on Fox Business telling us on national TV what to do with our money. No. See, the goal in retirement planning is confidence. And without the plan, you can't have confidence. But confidence allows you to walk into life and spend your money freely, to enjoy your life, to live happy in retirement, to adapt to circumstances as they change. Strong plans build a level of preparation, not prediction, but preparation for what if it happens. And when it does, this is what we will do. If you do not have that type of plan going into 2026, or you're unsure what your current plan may even do, whether or not it supports you in a good market or a bad market, now is the time to pick up the phone and call our team. We can help you build that plan for when to take Social Security, if that's your big decision. Can you retire comfortably, if that's your big question? How to secure your Medicare. We can assist you in those questions. But all in all, if you have these little questions here or there, it's symptoms of the root cause of not having the right plan. Let our team help build the plan, and from there, confidence follows. All right, and just like that, time is done. It's crazy how quick this time goes. I appreciate you each and every week. I love getting to chat with you at every single time we get to sit down together. The new year is here, and with that, there will come excitement and some uncertainty. Let's work together to build the plan for you to gain confidence. If you are over the age of 59 and a half and you do not have that type of plan, we need to talk. Do not delay. Now, until we talk again, whether it's right here on the same station or it's in office together in person, always remember, save money, plan well, and live happy in retirement. God bless.
Investing involves a risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. R.D. Smothers Wealth Management is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management.